I used to ride like I didn't care if I lived or died. Not because I was fearless, but because I was broken. I told myself if I go out on this bike, it's cool. I know Jesus, so I'll be good, right? But the truth is, I was using grace to justify a death wish. See, I originally bought this bike to get away from things. It was my getaway. So peaceful to go out at 2 a.m. after work and nothing's on your mind but the speed and the power of the motorcycle. I confused having a relationship with God with actually surrendering to Him. I thought just knowing His name was enough to cover how reckless I was living. Deep down, I wasn't riding in faith. I was running from the pain. I didn't care about tomorrow because I didn't think my life had any real purpose. People saw the bike and thought I was living free, but I was just hiding my hurt behind a helmet. Fast rides were easy and facing my slow healing. And to be honest, part of me hoped I wouldn't come back from some of those trips because at least then the pain would stop. At some point, I just didn't want to be on this earth no more, not in any suicidal way, just in a way of not having to struggle and fight every single day and having to endure to the end because it's not the easiest thing. And this walk with Christ is probably one of the hardest things you could commit to, especially as an 18, 19-year-old coming into this world. But for some reason, God didn't let me die. He kept me here all this time, all the stuff I did and how reckless I was living. I'm still here. Not because I deserved it, but because He had more for me than I was willing to see. He loved me enough to let me break, but not enough to let me stay broken. Finally, as reckless as I was living, as reckless as I was riding, my bike finally blew up as I was lane splitting, doing a wheelie through cars, through traffic. I threw a rod in my motorcycle as I was getting ready to take off after I got down off that wheelie, coming through a light, through a bunch of traffic. My bike blew up. My bike stayed down for about an entire year. It was just hitting 12 months. And then finally, at the end of that month, I had enough money to get me a new motor. And this time throughout that year, I learned that I was idolizing that motorcycle, and I was putting it before God, and that's not what He wanted me to do. So finally, I matured enough to not idolize that bike, not make it something that meant so much to me that my whole world crashes. Now I don't have to ride every single day. Now sometimes I go weeks without riding. Rather than making content and spreading the word on my motorcycle, I finally found purpose in what I'm doing. But I'm still struggling with a couple things. But I'm doing so much better than what I was. And if I'm being transparent, as of right now, I feel that I'm saving people, but my own self is still going to hell. Because behind closed doors, I am still falling into sin. I am letting temptation have me, and I am willfully choosing that sin at times. Still getting out of this out of this stage in my life and phase of my life, but I know that this is not a time to pick and choose. This is not a time to be falling because God, Jesus is knocking on the door. He is right around the corner and we do not have much time left. Time is very short right now. This is not the time to be picking and choosing. I thought I had peace with death, but God wanted to give me a reason to live. Jesus didn't die so I could throw my life away on two wheels. He died so I could ride with purpose. Now every time I twist out, it's not to flirt with death, it's to testify that I survived it. And I'm still here till this day. After everything I've done, now spreading the word, a place, something that I never expected myself to be doing. Now I'm here, still with the same motorcycle, still everything intact, preaching God's word to y'all. It's not worth it at the end of the day, and it's also a very selfish act by you riding carelessly, and you got your loved ones sitting at home, not knowing what you're up to, and not knowing when you're gonna come back home. Y'all ride safe, get in your word, and stay close to God.
See, the rain is nice, but gee, I really don't like getting wet. What in the world? No, I went under the awning. It's still raining.